Hello everyone and welcome back to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin and today we're going to start our playthrough of Arena, the contest, doing the co-op version, solo or co-op. We've started the epic campaign. If you want to see that, check out the video before this on the playlist for the setup. Otherwise, hang out here and let's jump into the playthrough. When you play this cooperatively, all heroes will activate first, followed by all villains. Villains, we can choose the order, it's same as heroes, so we can do them in any order we'd like. You have 3 general parts of your turn. You've got the start of your turn, an action phase, and the end of your turn. During the action phase, you can do a move action and a prime action. So a move action, you can do spend movement points to move, sidestep, provide first aid, or hey, pick up or transfer an item. So if there's an item that's on the board, we can use 1 movement point to pick it up if we're adjacent. And then for our prime action, we can either move again, we can use one of those heroic actions, we can do a basic attack, primary attack, or a special attack, as long as the special attack token is not flipped over. First thing we have to decide is which character is going to go first, because remember that arcane orb is going to hit them for 8 damage. I think with Jorana being our tank, let's go ahead and have her get the first hit. So her health is actually tracked here on this 70. 8 damage puts her all the way down to 62. Her total movement is 6, so I think I'm going to go ahead and go 1. Now, in this game, you can move diagonal or straight. The only thing that matters is if you go diagonal over, let's say, one of these lava pits. So if I go like this, I take the lava pit damage, and I can't do that over these obstacles. I have to walk around them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to come adjacent to this green orc. That's going to be my movement. If I tried to move again, he would get a reaction attack and use his basic attack to attack me because I've become adjacent to him and then I've moved away from that space. Something I didn't show you guys is each player also has 4 combat cards that match their 4 actions that they can take. So I'm actually going to start off with one of our special attacks, the lightning reflexes, because what I want is that permanent ability for the rest of the game. So this has to be within range of 1 square, 1 enemy. We're attacking for 16 damage, and then our permanent is that you may make a basic attack at the end of your turn. And that's all of our turns going forward. Even if we miss, you guys, we're going to do 15 residual damage. I do want to call out right here, because it's easy to forget this. This residual damage cannot lower a target's health past 1. So if we miss, we can't accidentally kill them. We can get them all the way down to 1, but we can't kill them with a miss. Then I think that makes thematic sense. The orc's defense is 6, so all we have to do is roll a 6 or higher to hit them. And we rolled a 20. Wow, so a 20, you guys, is a critical hit. A critical hit gives the target plus 5 damage, and you can apply that before or after resolving the attack's effects. Now, our attack doesn't have any effect, but we essentially hit this guy for 21 out of his 30 damage. That was definitely lightning reflexes. We've dropped his hit point token down to the 21 to notate this. Now, normally we'd have to end our turn, but because we now have this permanent effect, we get to do a basic attack. That basic attack is for a simple 6 damage. It's melee, so we have to be next to an enemy. But hey, I will take 6 damage on him. So I'll roll, and we get a 15. So because we got over the 6, we did another, and that's his defensive 6. We'll do another 6 damage. That'll move him from 21 down to 15. Because we used our special attack, we'll flip this over to no special. That means the next hero that goes will not be able to use his special, or hers. And I think I'm going to have Zund go next. Zund has a ranged attack, and his range is 8. So we can look here and ensure he has a line of sight. None of these terrain tiles will get in the way for line of sight, and no character blocks line of sight. So we have no problem in seeing this orc. He only has 15 health left. We're going to attack with our dangerous choice. We're going to go ahead and activate dangerous choice, but here's the thing. This dangerous choice, what I missed is if you read this, the target chooses one. So the enemy actually gets to choose, and it says if it's non-human controlled, apply 1 if you roll an odd number, and 2 if it's an even. So I'm hoping I can roll an odd number that's greater than 6, because then I can not one shot, but I can essentially kill that green orc right off the bat, because that would be 7 plus the 9. If I roll an even, he just can't attack, which is still good. Come on, odd number above a 6. Odd number above a 6. No, that's definitely a 3. So if we miss, the target does take 5 residual damage at least. So we'll do 5 damage to him. That will knock the green orc's health down to 10. And then we still have our 5 movement. And I'm still going to move just because it's hard for him to move. He only has 5 moving around. He's going to move 1, 2. Moving up behind her. Also, there is what's called a mob. And what happens is if you've got 2 enemies adjacent to you that are not adjacent to each other, and you don't have an ally adjacent to you, you've been mobbed because you have to pay attention to 2 different characters and you're exposed. So your defense is -3. So with him coming up here, this means that Joranna is not going to get mobbed if we can't somehow take out that green orc. I'm really hoping that we can though. At the end of Zund's turn, since his turn started with the no special token up, we'll flip it back over and someone can do a special action. Zanak isn't going to play around. He's going to go next, and he's going to attack that green orc. We just need 10 damage. We're going to use our Inferno Shield. So this is a range of 8, 12 damage, which would be more than enough to kill him. And we can choose an ally within range, and then the next enemy that hits that ally within 2 squares of it takes 4 damage. Damage taken after the enemy's attack is resolved. So you have to resolve the attack. Looking for a 6 or higher here. And that is exactly a 6, you guys. Woo! Just enough. So that is going to kill the green orc. 1 down, 2 to go. Now what we're going to do, I just showed it to you, but I haven't talked to you about it. We're going to drop this on his space where that enemy was killed. If somebody can get adjacent to that and use a movement point to pick it up, we can grab a flask. But we have to do that before this round ends. So that'd either be Zanak or it would have to be Jade. The ally we're going to choose will definitely be Joranna. You know she's going to get attacked. Well, likely. As much as I love the idea of picking up that flask, I love the idea of Zanak and Jade having their health. They're not ones that need to be in the front line. So I think I might just leave that flask alone. Going forward, I might want to end with Joranna so she can pick up those flasks or get in front of it at least. Who knows? We're going to end our activation now with Jade taking a shot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at this red orc. We're going to use our angelic voice, and somehow that's going to do 7 damage. It's so good for us and so bad for them. You or an ally within range regains 6 HP, so we're going to have that effect. And then an ally within range is hastened, and its primary attack strikes are critical on rolls of 17 or more. Now, what this means is that temporary effect ends at the start of Jade's next turn. So if I give that to someone, which I will, they'll get that effect for the next round, even though she's ending this round. Now, if she goes first for the next round, well, then they'll lose that benefit. So you have to kind of decide if you're going to use this, you want to make sure whoever we put this on will activate before Jade. In the meantime, let's see if we can roll a 6 or higher. And we rolled exactly a 6. Wow, we are getting the bare minimum. That'll do 7 damage to the red orc. The red orc was at 30, and now we'll go down to 23. And we're going to go ahead and give this hastened and the crit on 17 or more over to Joranna. Because I think it'd be nice if she's hastened. What that means is she can move, and even if she is in a space where she'd normally get a reaction attack, she won't. Hence the reason why I want to give it to her. I almost forgot the other effect of Jade's attack was that she could heal someone by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Joranna's the only one that was damaged, so I'm going to heal her. She's back up to 68. I also have my passive ability, which says that if I hit a target on my first hit for that turn, an ally within range may regain 4 HP, but can't regain HP again this turn. Well, that happens after the effect, so we'll have Joranna all the way back up to full, because she's the only one that was damaged. Zanak and Zund both have passive abilities, but unfortunately Zund missed, and Zanak, he had to be 5 spaces away, while he was only 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 when he attacked, so he didn't get his benefit. After our heroes have completed their turns, we go ahead and move to the enemies. So there's 2 remaining orcs. Let's see what they're going to do. This determines their behavior. We have Soul Corruption. Power. Hero attacks deal damage but apply no effects. Passive powers are not affected. Ooh, so your passive power you can still use, but any of the other powers of your abilities don't happen. And that will be in effect for the entire next round. Command is basic strategy. So what the basic strategy is, attack the nearest reachable hero, and then if there's a tie, attack the hero with the lowest HP. Nice and simple. Normally what you'll want to do is move one enemy first, do the attack, then move the second enemy. But because I'm recording, it just makes life a lot easier if I do both. They both have enough movement to take one step towards Joranna. They're both going to attack. They have a total movement of 6, so that's why they're able to move. They're going to use their Furious Blow, attack for 12 damage each. And then if one is able to move, so actually this would maybe change how that other one would move, which I'll fix. If the first one hits, they're actually going to push her into the lava. And she's going to take 4 damage. And regardless, even if they miss, she's going to take 5 residual damage. Yeah, that's why we have a healer, because she's going to get hit. At least her defense is 8 instead of 6, so the first attack is a 7. Heck yeah. So since it's a 7, it's a miss. When you miss, you do not get the effect, so they're not going to be able to push her into the lava quite yet. But she is going to take that 5 residual damage. So she'll go from 70 to 65. Okay, that was the first one. That was not terrible. Let's see about the second one. And that's a 13, which is greater than 8. So she is going to take 12 damage plus 4. So she's going to take 16 because she's going to get shoved into the lava. We'll push her into the lava like so. Now, what you need to know about this, first of all, that gives her the 16 damage, which I'll update in a second. But this does not cause any sort of reaction attack. The only time reaction attacks happen is when it's during your move step. If you move past an enemy, then they can attack you. But if you get pushed by another enemy, or let's say your attack action actually lets you move, when you do those movements, you cannot do a reaction attack. Just something to keep a note of. Jorana's going to find herself all the way at 49 health from 65. Wow. That's going to end this round. No one picked up this flask, so I'm going to take this off the board, and no one can pick that up. It's expired or something like that. Maybe it's been disappeared underneath the rubble. We'll go ahead and start our next turn. We just have to remember that we still deal our damage, but we don't get to apply any of the effects of our abilities for the attacks this round because of the evil power. I did almost forget that we had our Inferno shield out, and I do not believe that Soul Corruption affects this because that was cast or used prior to when that evil card came up. So when Jorana had gotten hit by the second orc, not the first orc, she would have been able to do 4 points of damage to that enemy. And now what I'm going to assume is that I had planned for the red one that had already taken damage. I had hoped that that one would have hit me first, and so I would have wanted to do this 4 damage to him. So I'm going to assume that is actually the second one, the yellow one that hit me. So the yellow one, or orange, is going to take 4 damage, going from 30 to 26 health. To start this round, I think I'm going to go with Zund first. So Zund is going to take 8 damage. So much damage, going down to 52, especially because we can't even heal because we don't get any of our effects this round. He's going to go ahead and attack that red orc. That red orc is only 2 spaces away, so the range works. It's just going to do 10 damage. Don't look at any of this. I do assume the miss will happen, so he'll do the residual damage potentially. We're looking for a 6 this time, please. Zund, 6 or higher. And we get an 8, barely. You know, I started off with a 20, and then ever since then I haven't rolled, above a 10 essentially? But that'll work. That's 10 straight damage to the red orc. The red orc will go from 23 to 13. Now we can activate our passive ability this time because we did hit. So our passive is another enemy within 5 squares of you takes 4 damage. Well, the yellow enemy is another enemy, and so this one will take 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 22. And what we had to do is we had to hit a target, which we hit a target this time. Zund is going to go next. He can do 13 damage with his Flame Blast. He is already in range of the red orc. The red orc only has 13 health. He can drop him like it's hot right here. Let's do it. 6 or higher will do it for us. An 11. Nice. So that means the red orc is toast. We'll drop this on his spot on the board, and we can pick it up as a flask. His ability, he had to attack within a range of 5. I couldn't get 5 spaces away. Just didn't happen. I do, though, have my 5 movement. So what I'm going to do is go 1, 2, use movement 3 to pick this up. Let's pick up a flask. Sometimes flasks have healing, mind poison. So, 2 squares, 1 enemy, 4 damage in effect. You may move the target up to 3 squares, and then, controlled by you, it makes a primary attack. That is sweet. Okay, so Zanuck has that. Now, I really want to get myself so I'm 5 spaces away from this yellow orc. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't. So I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to move over here for my final movement. Jorana is next, and remember, she's hastened from last turn. Once again, I believe that still counts. So she has a movement of 6. I'm going to get around this orc. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because what I want is even if I don't kill him, if he pushes me, he won't be able to push me into lava. See, so that's what I wanted to do, is get myself out of the lava. Plus now I'm a step farther in the direction that I want to go. This guy has 22 damage, so it's very likely we're not going to take him out. But we crit on a 17 or higher. So let's see. First attack with 8 damage. Oh, we got an 8, barely enough. But that will work. That'll do 8 damage to him. So he'll move from 22 down to 14. Then at the end of our turn, remember, we get to do another basic attack. Come on, 17 or higher. So this is a basic attack of 8. It's essentially this because we don't get any of the effects anyways. But we don't get the miss on this one. So really, I just shouldn't show you this. Okay, come on. 17 or higher. 17 or higher. No, it's another 8. So we did another 8 damage. So he'll go down from 14 to 8. And by 8, I actually mean 6. I can do math. But that does mean he's still going to be able to activate and hit her again. Jade is saying, hold on now, Colin. What am I, chopped liver? I get to attack. She's going to use her heroic melody. It's going to do 10 damage. She is within range 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she's within range 4. All we need to do is roll a 6 or higher. And we rolled a 10. That will take him out. Thank goodness. And we still get our effect, which says as long as we hit a target, on just the first time that we do that, an ally within range may regain 4 HP, but can't regain HP again. We're definitely going to have Jorana gain 4 HP. So she's at 49. We're going to push her back to 53. Thank you, Jade. In my books, healers are always the MVP. So even if I forget to activate them, Jade is going to go ahead and then use her movement. Her movement is 5. She'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 to pick up that flask. Come on, be something with healing. Something with healing. We have potion of range. 2 squares, 9 damage. Miss. The last missed target takes 5 residual damage. Oh, whoa! Within 2 spaces, you can target all enemies. Cool. There are no enemies on the board, so because of that, we'll go ahead and end the round. We'll start the next round, but remember, we'll still take that 8 damage for every time we start, so we can't really lollygag here. We gotta keep pushing. It's just gonna be the question of, are we gonna try and go for all 3 prisoners? Who do you think I am? Of course we're gonna go for all 3 prisoners. Before we jump into that next round, I do want to talk about something that confused me at first when I played this, and that is the once per turn versus ends if used. So once per turn means that per individual turn, if you have exposed an enemy, let's say Jorana is going to go first, her first attack, this enemy is exposed. If she had her second attack, like the basic attack, that enemy would no longer be exposed because it's only once per turn. But then, if Zanuck went next, Zanuck would attack that enemy and that enemy would once again be exposed. So it's once per every activation of your enemies. Versus ends if used, that just means you've used it one time. So the next time that ally attacks, they're going to be considered empowered. But then after that attack, they go to be no longer empowered. And that's going forward. So think of ends if used as a one-time ability, and once per turn is essentially once for every other activation. And then the whole ability itself is temporary, and at the start of Zun's next turn or at the start of Jade's next turn, these cards are picked up. And so what that means is if that person has never used the empowered or never had the exposed happen to them, they won't happen anymore. Anyways, it's not that difficult, but for me, at whatever reason, I was having a challenge with that. And after reading some BGG threads, and by the way, the designer is amazing on BGG. He has responded to every single rules question on there. Insane. Love it. I love how connected he is to the community, and I feel like I can actually play this game correctly, if I can remember everything. But yeah, great. Just absolutely great, and I feel like it makes sense. All right, on to the playthrough. Well, it's hard to say this, but I'm going to have Jade go first. Jade's going to take the 8 damage. She'll go from 60 down to 52. It's kind of sad. You're a healer who's going first. You know it's bad when you're letting your healer take the 8 damage. Yeah, I might not have picked the best party. Sorry, guys. But this is at least showing you how the game plays. We're going to use our first movement action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to move 5. And then we're going to go ahead and use our prime action as another move action. I am going to assume here I cannot use one of my attack abilities to try and heal someone because I can heal with an effect, but I don't have anybody to attack. So I'm going to go with I can't do that. I think that's fair. So what I'm going to do is move an additional 5. 1, 2. Yeah, I think that's actually as close as I'm going to get. We know that the orcs are going to spawn around this prisoner when we break him free. So I don't want her too close to that. Next, we're going to have Jorana go, and Jorana's definitely going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then she's going to move 1, 2 next to the prisoner for her second prime action. For movement point 3, she's going to go ahead and unlock this beautiful chest for 20 HP. So she'll go from 53 up to 70 because that's as high as she can go. Oh, that feels good. I believe she has 2 more movement, and I'm going to have her go 1, 2. I want her as far over here as possible, so hopefully the orcs will attack her. We'll then have the team come over here because I happen to pick all range except for her. So she's going to get hammered and they're all going to attack from range and root her on. You can do it! What's funny is in the 3 rounds that you've seen, you haven't even seen why she's called tank, because she hasn't even done her basic attack where she gets her tank ability. Well, she has, but she didn't get the benefit. So, okay, let's go ahead and have Zund go next. Zund has a total of 10 movement with using his movement as a prime action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10. Let's put him over here. And then we'll go ahead and do Zanuck finally last. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to put him here. Yeah, I like it. I got my range guys sitting here rooting on Jorana. Jorana's trying to break free that prisoner, and then we're all going to hammer as hard as we can on those orcs that show up. We'll end the round here because there are no enemies, and we'll start that next one. Jorana's going to go ahead and start this turn, so she's going to go from 70 down to 62 because that orb shoots her in the head. What was that? Ugh. Okay, now what she's going to do is she's not even going to move. She's going to do her prime action, which is going to be to break this prisoner free. I'm realizing I'm not entirely sure if I showed you this. The chest here says there's a chest next to the prisoner. To open a chest, an adjacent hero must spend 1 movement point. The hero opens the chest, regains 20 HP. Then you remove it. Now, when you rescue a prisoner, you can only rescue a prisoner when there are no orcs on the battle grid. Check. To rescue a prisoner, an adjacent hero must spend a prime action, which is a bummer because Jorana then can't attack, but she just did. Upon release, remove the prisoner's figure from the battle board. Then the rescuing hero receives a lever key, which is a quest item. So I'm going to give her this one, this blue one, and event 1 happens. We have here place 3 orcs within 2 squares of the prisoner, adjacently to a hero or a nearest possible square. So what I did is I just had all 3 orcs surround her. Maybe not the greatest idea, but that's what I just did. Like I said, I'm not showing you how to play this game well, I'm showing you how to play this game. On top of that, since this is our first prisoner, they are well rested, which means when they do the Furious Blow, instead of moving you 1 space when they hit you, they move you 2 squares. Finally, there is a note here that says, unless noted otherwise, villains spawn with full HP, so they're all going to come back at 30 health, and can take turns in that round. Choose the squares to place villains according to the quest instructions, and you cannot place new villains adjacent to each other unless there is no choice. So essentially, they're trying to have it be a mob. Because remember, if they're adjacent to each other, they're not mobbing you because they're next to each other. The enemies have to be not adjacent to each other, and then you have to be not adjacent to any of your allies. Apparently, Jorana is really risky because look at this. They're not adjacent to each other, right? 2 spaces away from where the prisoner was, and that's where the prisoner was. They're all within 2. And yeah, they are all 3 on top of her, ready to attack her. Now, the fun part is, though, she isn't fully done because she still has her permanent ability, which is at the end of her turn, she can do a primary attack. Now, this is interesting. If her primary attack, or I shouldn't say primary, basic attack, my apologies, her basic attack. If her basic attack was ranged and she attacked any one of these, the other 2 would get to do a reaction attack because she's adjacent to them doing a ranged attack and they're not attacking her. But from how I understand it, if she's doing a melee attack, she does not have to worry about the reaction attacks from the other 2. So let's go ahead and hammer on the green one, I think. We're going to try and take this green one out because it's also within 5 range, and so we've got some passive abilities over here that could help us with that range. So yeah, let's go ahead and hit the green orc. We got to roll a 6 or higher, and we rolled a 17. Why didn't we roll a 17 last time? So the green orc went from 30 down to 22. Xanak's going to go ahead and attack next. He has a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, so he will be able to use his passive ability if he can hit. He is going to go ahead and use a special action. Xanak is going to go ahead and use his Eternal Blaze. His Eternal Blaze will do a total of 24 damage. It also has a permanent effect which says you are empowered once per turn. Even if he misses, he'll deal 15 damage. Now, he is going to have to flip the specialty or special ready token to the no special. And also, just so you know, empowered means that if he hits once per turn, he'll deal +3 damage. He's definitely our shooter. He's all about damage, which is what we need. So he's going to roll an 11. That will take out that green orc. The green orc had 22 damage. He hit for 24, plus I'm assuming the empowered works right away. So that's 27 damage. Now you'll see I placed that token right here to show that we have a flask there. Xanax still has his movement, and he's not going to leave Jorana there by herself. He's going to go 1, 2, because we don't want to go this way. He'll take 4 damage from that. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's coming right up for her, so that way she's not alone. Biggest thing that's the problem about this is now those orcs are very likely going to attack him instead of her. I should also mention that he could have used his passive ability of accuracy, but he had to hit a target from at least 5 spaces away, and then that target takes 4 additional damage. Well, that orc was already gone. So yeah, not worth it doing it there. We at least killed an orc. I'm happy. Next, we're going to have Zund attack. So Zund should have range no problem. His range, yeah, I think is also going to be, well, actually, I'll have him attack the red one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, also 5. We'll go ahead and use his Dangerous Choice again, which will do 7 damage. And then depending upon what we roll, we'll do something different. So he's hitting the red orc, and he rolled an 18. Why wasn't that a 20? But that's an even number. Because it's an even number, let's see, 1 if rolled an odd, 2. So what this means is that target can't make a primary or special attack this round. So that red orc is going to look at us menacingly, but he's not going to attack. Oh, nice. He will only take 7 damage, so he'll go from 30 down to 23. We also have a total of 5 movement, so I might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... just to get ourselves a little bit closer, and then hopefully we can go this way and try and save that green prisoner next. Because Zun's turn, we had the no special flipped up. We're going to flip it back to special ready, and we'll go to Jade's turn. Before I forget, I need to remember that Zund has a passive ability called Despair. As long as he hits a target, another enemy within 5 squares of you takes 4 damage. He was here. Right, he was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The yellow or orange one should take 5 damage. So the yellow, orange, whatever color you want to call it, goes down to 25. Yeah, we need as much help as we can get. I don't need to make this harder. Okay, now going to Jade. Jade's going to go ahead and use the special ready again and do her Inspire Greatness. I might be using too many of my specials, but I think getting these buff effects are worth it for the rest of the scenario, as long as I can remember all of them. So, Inspired Greatness, we're going to flip this special ready to no longer being ready. This will do 18 damage, which is amazing from a healer. That is amazing. If we hit, which we better, permanent. Choose an ally within range. Apply 1 helpful condition on it. This condition, except hasten, applies once per turn, so it doesn't end if used. It's once per turn, which is amazing. If we miss, the target enemy still takes 15 damage. So I think with that, we're going to go for the red one. He has a total of 23 health. Don't you miss, die. Don't you miss. Oh, that's an 18. Oh, I'm hoping that was a 20, but still, 18 damage. That will knock him down from 23 to 5 total health. Man, we almost took him out. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to make Xanac this round be toughened in case he gets attacked, because he's out there. He doesn't have a lot of health. That means right now his defense is 9 instead of 6. Normally it's only 6. Now it's 9. We've got ourselves 2 orcs sitting out. One's pretty pissed because he's almost dead. Let's see what they're going to do. We'll draw an evil power card. So this is a power. Villains are hastened. So what that means is if they move around and don't attack someone that's adjacent to them, no reaction attacks. and it says command: attack a hero whose basic attack is ranged with within 6 squares of you. If possible, use the basic strategy. Or if not possible, use the basic strategy. It's like I read the mind of the evil power deck. I knew there were ones in here. Xanax's attack, and I should say Xanax's basic attack, is ranged. So that means they're going to target Xanax, which is great because his defense is 9, which is actually better than Jorana this round. But it means he's also probably going to get hammered. We'll do the first roll with the yellow orc. Let's see what he gets. He gets a 2. Yes! That means only 5 residual damage is done to Xanax. So that means he'll go from 55 down to 50. And then the red orc is going to attack him. Come on, below a 9, below a 9. That's a 13. No, so he's going to take 12 damage, and he's going to get pushed 2 spaces towards the lava. So when he's at 50 right now, he's going to be at 38. Now, I did one thing right at least. When I get pushed back by 2, I did make myself 2 spaces away from that lava. So that way I did not step in the lava and take the additional 4 damage. But yeah, down to 38. Hoofda. We're definitely not going to have Xanax going first. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy. That first orc missing was amazing. I'm really happy with this black die. Thank you, black die, for that too. I think this round we should be able to take both of them out, maybe. The yellow orc does have 25 health, so I don't know, we might be able to pull that off. But with Xanax getting the +3 for his empowered now, he gets once per turn. Yeah, I think we'll be able to do this. So I don't know if you guys remember. I have it on the table and 100% forgot again. Remember that dangerous choice that Zund did? And we were supposed to have the red orc not be able to attack. That means that Xanax can move 2 spaces back and regain 12 hit points from 38 back to 50 because he shouldn't have been able to attack. So the first attack was a miss, which did the 5 residual damage. The second attack, he was just looking at us menacingly, not being able to attack us. Oh, that is a lot better than what I was thinking. So to start this round, we're definitely going to start with Jorana. She's got the most health. She'll take 8 damage. She'll go from 62 to 54. Put her to 54. She's going to do her Dance of Steel. That is a 1 square attack, 8 damage, and then it has an effect that she'll become toughened, which will increase her defense to an 11. And if you look at this, another enemy within 5 squares of you takes 3 damage. Yes, please. We're going to go ahead and target the yellow orc. So we're hoping to do 8 to him. 14, yep. So we did 8 damage. We'll go from 25 to 17 for that. Then what we'll do is 3 damage to the red orc. The red orc will go from 5 health down to 2 health. Man, we almost killed him. And we're going to become toughened. So now our defense is an 11. We will then get to do our basic attack, because we're definitely not going to move. I don't want reaction attacks, please. So we're going to attack... Yeah, I think at this point we should just try and take the red orc out. So we're going to attack the red orc, and we rolled a 19. Done. So we'll drop this flask right next to us. Hopefully one of our other players will be able to use that. We'll have Zund go next. He'll go ahead and use his rainbow ray. 6 or higher. Oh, that's a 5. Bummer. So that's going to miss. So because it misses, the target takes 5 residual damage. So we're only attacking the only one that's out there. So that is the yellow orc. Goes from 17 down to 12. You know, that's the second time he's missed. He's the only one that has missed each time. I really want that flask, so I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then movement 5. I'd still say this is adjacent. We can pick this up, and let's see. Come on, be something for healing. Something for healing. Let's see. It's a potion of life. Finally, it listens to me. So, 1 dead ally. Oh, it has to be a dead ally. Revive the target and place it within 2 squares of you with 15 HP and no special attacks. It's a miss. You regain 5 HP. So if you try and use it to heal someone else and you fail, you'll heal yourself. Well, that's good, but it's still not exactly what I wanted. I don't want my characters to die. Xanax is going to go next. Now, here's the thing. He right now is adjacent to this orc. If he tries to attack this orc and he's attacking range, he's going to get a reaction attack. So he's going to do what's called a sidestep. You can do sidesteps 2 different ways. It takes all of your movement. You can either just move 1 space away from an enemy, or you can actually swap with an ally. Now I don't want to swap with an ally because I don't want Zund adjacent to him either, but I'm going to go ahead and take one step away from him using my sidestep, but I can't do any more movement. Now what I can do though is an attack. Remember that Zanuck is going to be empowered due to his special attack. So if he hits now, it's +3 damage. This orc has a total of 12 health left. Oh, well, his attack does 12 anyways. So we're just going to try and do 12 damage here. I think the key is not to roll like Zund, basically. A 20. I had to waste a 20 on that because we don't need any more damage. Great. Well, we still did a great hit. So I'm going to go ahead and take that orc off the table. Killed him. The biggest problem with that is Jade now is not going to be able to heal people because her heal is with an attack. Of course. So her movement is 5. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3. She's going to pick up this flask. Let's see. What does she get as a flask? We've got Oil of Impact. 13 damage plus effect. You may move the target up to 4 spaces. Ooh, that is kind of cool. We can throw them into lava. We'll do 2 more movement for 4 and 5, 4, 5, and then we're going to do 5 more movement. We'll go ahead and get ourselves ready to get to the next place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leaving our friends behind. Hurry up, you guys, you're slow. There's no enemies on the board, so we'll go ahead and end this round. We'll start with the next round. I think I'm going to do what I did last time. Get everybody over here. I'm probably going to have Joranna take all the damage from the orb, and then have, well, do I want Joranna to do the chest? Yeah, probably. I think so. And then go ahead and try and save this second prisoner. We'll start the round with Joranna. She'll go from 54 to 46. We'll then have her move a total of 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's next to the chest. She couldn't even use it. We'll then have Zanuck go. And I think the best way to go is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And his movement is 5. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know what? I'm realizing that Joranna's movement was 6, not 5, so she can move 2 more spaces. So I'm actually going to have her move to here, just because I want to. Finally, let's have Zund go. Zund will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right behind Zanuck. I love how it's Zund and Zanuck. I didn't even do that on purpose, but I love the Z names. You know, my wife and I are expecting our third child, and I really wanted to name it with a Z name, but she didn't go for it.